I'm in the mood to do a video on NFTs. It is 4:07 p.m. on Monday, February 14th. And the reason why is because one really big thing happened, which was really cool, but also really critical and really devastating, because I was invested in a project that didn't succeed. And it wasn't a rug pull by any means. The founders of this project literally returned the money to the people who invested in their NFTs. That's how integral they were. Of course, they were not able to refund the gas, right? But they honored their values to withhold the respect for their community. Because at the end of the day, the whole project was about community. So the reason why they did not succeed is because they didn't have enough people investing into their project to believe that in continuing, it was actually worthwhile to not only be able to sustain the project monetarily, but to have enough people believing and buying into their ideas. So the reality is, this does happen. It is a real thing. I believe that their ideas were so far ahead of the game, like literally so far ahead of the game, and also the NFT world is already like, so we're so early, so they were extremely early in their ideas, in the development of what it was that they were doing, so that other people didn't get it. And I think there had to be a lot of conversations about that with the right people reaching up in their level of influence to be able to make that happen, as one of the main things that, even from their perspective, in their opinion, that they shared, that they basically didn't have set up for growth to be able to have that growth and sustainability and maintenance and moving forward. So that really caught my attention, and I was able to share a lot of love for them in this project, and I wanted them to continue, because realistically speaking, just because you try once and it doesn't work out, it's not a reason to give up the whole mission and vision. You gotta keep going if it's something within your heart that you're pulled to do, right? Because the universe redirects you, so you gotta learn from those experiences. So I want to say, I am invested in a lot of projects because I believe in the people who are backing them, who you're basically investing in the people, right? It's the people business, and you're either selling your ideas or you're being sold. The thing about this though is, I bought into their idea, right? And I'm buying into a lot of other projects' ideas, and people are executing on these and trying to provide value to the consumer, to the person who holds their NFT token. So I think it's really quite remarkable that there's so many projects that I've not only put my money in, but I put my time and attention in, which are going to give me returns on either a massive or minor scale, depending on how long I hold, right? Or I can just sell it and flip it and make money and then invest in a new project. That's always a possibility. And it's something that I am experiencing that, I haven't done too much of, but I have received gains, and I have, also in other ways received losses too. So there are setbacks that come with being involved in crypto, blockchain, NFT, Web3, all this stuff, right? And I'm learning. It's a learning experience, which is really valuable. But one thing I want to note is that actually to learn about the NFT community and what it's like, you have to be rooted. You have to literally walk inside and take a look, view with your eyes, and see what is going on within this community, within these projects, what they're trying to create, how people are communicating, how they're incentivizing ideas to create communication within creative ways that incentivize rewards for these people for this creative communication. Now, a lot of these projects are putting in a lot of energy, and they're trying to make it long term, and a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are just completely, trying to do it for the money, and they're not like an actual artist who is doing it for the art and for their love for the process of the development of their art. So you can see who in the long term is actually going to win, and who is just doing it possibly for a rug pull or to make some money, what have you, and people are going to get screwed because they don't know what they're doing. Now, it seems to me that the projects I'm invested in are doing well so far. And of course, some of them haven't even gone up. Some of them have dropped immediately, and they're just staying there. So we just got to wait. We just got to see, we just got to observe the community, how everything is flowing, all the actions. The hard part is staying up to date. But I think one of the most important things you can be doing is, if you're going to partake in something that is greater than an idea, you have to get your feet wet. You have to get your feet dirty. You have to walk in the dirt and enjoy that shit. The clouds too. I love the ideas. But you actually have to do what it is that you are trying to learn about. You cannot just take knowledge and not apply it. You see, knowledge is only relevant when it is connected to your actual experience, the experience that you're trying to create. So, if you just have a bunch of information and you just learn and you just study, like so many people do, and you take in information as if it's a textbook, as if it's online, you're reading a ton of articles, but you never actually do anything with it, it's really, really extremely hard to learn, because then you're playing a memorization game of shit that you're not going to use. That's very similar and familiar to college, right? People regurgitating information and vomiting it up and throwing it up on a test, and then scrapping that shit and throwing it away and never looking at it again. So then you get this degree of all this crap that you never applied yourself to, and then you figure out, oh shit, this thing that I got a degree for, being a doctor, for example, I don't actually like sick people. It reminds me of my movie. I don't actually like blood. What are you gonna do then? You're screwed. You spend like 8 years training to be a doctor, and then you realize it's not for you. That would be a real shame, really. Like, it would hurt you so deeply that you wouldn't know what to do with your life except for continue and try again. And at that point, your mental state's going to be so indoctrinated and so worn down that you just can't continue to pursue this next avenue, especially if you're doing the same thing again that you've not only done through college, but you've already went through like 13 years of school from kindergarten when you were age 5 to age 18. And then you add on more and more. It just doesn't make sense. You can't live your life that way. Your mind is going to go insane. You got to express yourself and figure out what you're supposed to be doing, and then follow that pathway, and then study whatever it is you need to study, right? So it's really important. So when it comes to these NFTs and the projects that are available, I think it's really important to get in the trenches, to get in the dirt, to take a look around, to explore, to actually invest in projects so you see how things are working out. There's such a thing as giveaways and activity on Twitter and getting inside the actual Discord and seeing what they're doing. But when you actually hold these things and you look at it, you realize how things are moving because you actually give a fuck about it. You actually not only put your words there, but you put your money there, and you are an owner. You are invested. It is now a part of you, and you get to partake in the community. You get to partake in the story. You get to partake in the adventure and how it's all progressing and creating a greater suspense that you get to be a part of. So I want you to realize, actually being a part of a community, and not just a whole shit ton of communities and stuff you put your money in and you flip, but actually being a part of a community, of a project. We're connecting people on a very global scale. People that don't even know each other but end up, becoming less than strangers. Not having anything to do with all the danger, but we're rearranging people's thought processes to allow other people to take others as part of themselves, just because they happen to pay for a digital token that everybody else is interested in, and they're actually invested in the actual person who is producing this art, who is producing this model, who is producing this system, who is creating an economy based on conversation, based on artistic qualities, based on community, which really, really matters at the heart of it, because we're creating engagement and we're sharing love, right? So I think NFTs are really, really big, but don't get too focused on the blockchain. Just think this is a community, and we're incentivizing ways to be able to engage and create change based on people owning property that they then choose to increase the value of by being a part of. You can see your value increasing when everybody is taking part. And I think one of the great reasons why that project that failed at the beginning of this video and this talk is because they did not have a community that was really rooted in creating that type of engagement that incentivized other people to take part in, and it was more about what is the outcome, right? What can we get in accomplishing this goal, and how do we make that happen? But there wasn't the why and the mission, the vision that was driving people to create inspired action, which is so important. So you got to start with why with these projects, and then lead into how and what. Just like any leader would try and inspire action. You know, if you watch Simon Sinek, he'll talk about that, right? But the one thing I keep repeating, and overall this video is all over the place, but the one thing that I think is really important is, if you are a part of a community, you actually have to study and observe how the mechanics of it work. So that if you intend to create a community for yourself, or if you intend just to understand how to better invest, how to put your money in, get more money out, invest in other projects, without a doubt, you need to pay attention to the metrics, not just the metrics, to the movement, to the conversations, to what is happening here, what is happening there, why does this work like this when this goes over here, right? And then you'll begin to see like kind of the veil of the cloudiness of what it is that you're missing out, not only in the communities, but in the whole space as a whole, and how it's all interconnected. You're basically connecting the dots. You become a dot connector, right? And I think that is really important, so that you can see the outcome and then see the journey, and then understand better ways to apply yourself in this space so that you can get the most benefit out of it. That's why I'm investing in a lot of projects. That's why I see a lot of long-term potential. And that's why I am also trying to reinvest, you know, whether it takes selling, spending more money, or adding new funds into it, so that I can then get the returns on investment and then reinvest in new projects and new ideas that other people are consistently starting and being a part of. Something that I would want to be a part of, so that in turn, in the longevity of this future, I have an awareness of how some things work, so that I can be able to create my own project too, because I believe that can benefit people. So thank you for taking the time and the attention to lead by example, because it is so important. There are a minor handful, and there are people who will just jump on the bandwagon, who will just try and benefit as much as they can, and then get screwed out of their pockets, and they won't know what to do. Hopefully I'm not one of those people. Hopefully everything I'm doing is by walking in integrity, because that's what I stand for. I do take some information and I jump on it. There have been things I've taken risks for that I didn't do my due diligence and study on the specific project. And sometimes it pays off. Sometimes one project just has so much credibility and rep and investment from so many different people, and people believe in it, that it's worth investing in without giving it a second look. But you really need to do your own homework. You really need to pay attention to what's happening in order to know why things work the way that they do. So I encourage you to invest in something, and not just one thing. I mean, there's such a thing as investing in something that you believe in. A project like VFriends, very, very big, very, very bullish. A project like Impact Theories, or Tom Bilyeu's Impact Theory Founders Keys. It's very, very big, but not many people are seeing it yet. You know, and its connection to Mary Mods and how that's going to be a holiday experience. It's very, very big, but not many people understand how big the execution behind these projects is going to be, because the people, the most important thing, the people who created it, who are backing it, who are actually taking the actions and executing in the background, they will execute on making it valuable to you to be a part of this community. You need to pay attention to that. You really do. So you can get the most out of every single bit of time, energy, money that you put into these things, so that you can live in happiness and wealth and freedom, whatever it takes. Just gain the knowledge by being a part of the experience. And you'll be thankful for it. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to keep taking care of the world, okay? I love you.